Scene script. Have you ever thought about the plastic bottle you just tossed in the bin? Do you know where it ends up? Each day, we're surrounded by a world of plastic. It's in our homes, our offices, our cars. It's in the packaging of the food we eat, the water we drink, even the clothes we wear. Plastic, once hailed as a marvel of modern technology, has become so commonplace that we hardly give it a second thought. Yet it's this very ubiquity of plastic that conceals a paradox. The convenience plastic brings to our lives is undeniable. It's lightweight, durable, and versatile. But have we ever stopped to ponder the cost of this convenience? Have we considered the impact of billions of people using and discarding plastic every single day? The plastic we casually toss away doesn't just disappear, it remains, often out of sight, but never truly gone. But what happens when the convenience of plastic turns into a global crisis? Scene script. Every year we produce about 300 million tons of plastic, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Let's dive a little deeper. Picture this. The amount of plastic we produce annually is nearly equivalent to the weight of the entire human population. It's a staggering figure, isn't it? But even more alarming is where this plastic ends up. Around 8 million tons of plastic waste escapes into the oceans each year. That's akin to dumping a garbage truck full of plastic into the sea every minute. And what about landfills? Well, they're not faring much better. Globally, we only recycle around 9% of all the plastic we use. The rest, a whopping 91%, ends up in landfills or scattered around our environment. The result? Mountains of plastic waste that could take anywhere from 400 to 1,000 years to decompose. But the plastic threat doesn't stop at visible waste. There's another, more insidious problem. Microplastics. These tiny fragments, often invisible to the naked eye, are everywhere, from the deepest parts of the ocean to the highest mountain peaks, even in the air we breathe and the food we eat. They're created when larger plastic items break down over time, but they never quite disappear. Consider this. Every piece of plastic ever made still exists in some form. That water bottle you tossed away 20 years ago? It's still out there, slowly fragmenting into smaller and smaller pieces. Those microplastics can absorb harmful chemicals and toxins, which can then enter the food chain when ingested by marine life. It's a silent, unseen threat that's slowly choking our planet. And this, my friends, is just a glimpse of the plastic threat our planet faces. But it's not just about numbers, it's about lives, too. The impact of plastic pollution extends beyond the confines of our cities and towns, into the wild, where it wreaks havoc on the lives of countless animal species. Picture a sea turtle entangled in discarded fishing nets, or a seabird choking on a piece of plastic it mistook for food. These are not isolated incidents. They're everyday tragedies unfolding in our oceans, forests, and even our backyards. The World Wildlife Fund estimates that around 100,000 marine mammals and turtles and 1 million seabirds are killed by plastic pollution each year. Yes, you heard that right. The victims of plastic are not just around us. They are beneath the waves too. Dolphins, seals, whales, and countless fish species consume plastic debris, mistaking it for food. This ingestion can lead to suffocation, starvation, and ultimately, a grim death. Now let's bring it closer to home. Let's talk about us humans. We are not immune to the harmful effects of plastic. Microplastics, tiny particles of plastic less than 5 millimeters in size, have been found in our food, water, and even the air we breathe. These microscopic invaders can enter our bodies, posing potential health risks. Studies suggest that they may affect fertility, trigger inflammation, and even increase the risk of cancer. But here's the kicker. These microplastics are not just a byproduct of plastic breakdown. They're in products we use daily, from cosmetic products like face wash and toothpaste to synthetic clothing. Every time we wash these clothes or rinse off these cosmetics, we're flushing millions of microplastics down the drain, straight into our water systems. We are all victims of plastic, and it's time we face the truth. Whether we're a sea turtle in the Pacific, a bird in the sky, or a human in a bustling city, we're all sharing the consequences of plastic pollution. It's a global problem that demands a global solution. And the first step towards that solution is acknowledging the painful reality. We are all victims of plastic, and it's time we face the truth. So, what can we do about this plastic menace? Well, let's circle back to our key points and find out. We started with the plastic paradox. We saw how this marvel of modern convenience turned into a global conundrum, something so ubiquitous and so harmful. We looked at how plastic, once hailed as a miracle material, has become an environmental nightmare, choking our oceans, harming our wildlife, and even infiltrating our food chain. We then unmasked the plastic threat, revealing the stark reality of our plastic consumption and its dire consequences. We learned that every piece of plastic ever made still exists today in some form, and how it's not just about litter on the land, but microplastics in our seas and air. We met the victims of plastic, the marine life, the birds, even us humans. We saw the heartbreaking images of animals entangled in plastic waste and learned about the invisible threat of microplastics, small enough to be ingested by fish, and then make their way up the food chain onto our plates. Now it's time for action. We need to understand that we are both the problem and the solution. We need to reduce, reuse, and recycle. We need to rethink our relationship with plastic. Small changes can make a big difference. Opt for a reusable water bottle instead of a single-use one. Bring your own shopping bag to the supermarket. Say no to plastic straws. Every little bit helps. But it's not just about individual actions. We need systemic change. We need to hold corporations accountable, advocate for better waste management policies, and support innovations in biodegradable materials. Remember, it's not about perfection, but progress. Every step we take towards a plastic-free world is a step towards a healthier planet. The power to change the future of our planet lies in our hands. Will you take the pledge to fight plastic pollution?